Hello and welcome back to another video. I hope everyone's having a great week. I just wanted to say instantly that I did end up turning up my mic volume a little bit. I did figure out that I was able to. So please let me know if it needs to go up a little bit more, and I will gladly turn it up for the next one. So jumping right into this, I thought it'd be kind of fun to compare Rise of Kingdoms to Grand Cross Age of Titans and see which game is a little bit more free to play friendly. And as you can see on the screen right now, we are on Age of Titans, and I thought, why not start off with some of the specialty mobs that we have here in both the games. So in Grand Cross Age of Titans, we have Infernos, Beats, Steves, and Benzies. Some stuff has happened with these guys in Grand Cross, but personally, I still think that they are better than any single game. So right away on the Inferno, you can see that you're able to get some gems, some speeds, a bunch of XP rewards, some Titan parts, and some resources, etc. So on the Beats and the Steves and Benzies portion, they still do give a crazy amount of XP. I think this is like 158, somewhere around that range. And then if you go into this portion over here, you're able to get 2,500 gems every day, along with a bunch of generic speeds and then some specific speeds. I do want to apologize. In here, I am only able to do a windowed, or else it will lock me into this. So now, if we go into Rise of Kingdoms, and we look at the specialty monsters, so there are a little bit of XP. These are considered guardians, but they only drop specific runes, and what these runes do are there's different tiers. I think it's from 3 to 5, and they give you just different stuff. So AP recovery, and then you have, wow, there's a lot of AP recovery, some food speed, some troop health, which is the best in this game, and then you also have troop attack and march speed. So right now this is in KVK, which Grand Cross is not opening KVK until mid-January, so we don't really know what the monsters and everything are going to be in there yet. But what I am able to do is go back into the home kingdom real quick and actually show you what these monsters specifically are. So just teleport me anywhere and I'll be able to find one of them. Here we go. So as you can see, it's the same thing, less XP, and then even less percentage with some extra stuff there, which we will end up getting into. One thing that I do like about Rise of Kingdoms that is not yet in Grand Cross is whenever we are actually in the KVK mode itself, let me go ahead and go back real quick, the nodes and everything are a lot higher. So as of right now, we only have Parallel World. So as you can tell with the Barbarian Forts compared to what we have here, let me find a level 5 real quick, or even a level 3 is fine, or 4. As you can see on the screen, there's the rewards. They only go up to level 5 from what we've seen. And from what we know, based on the other stuff, is that they're going to be higher level. What that is yet, we do not know. So I'm just comparing what we got to what ROK has. So these are the rewards here. Some generic speeds that you can get, some healing speeds, a bunch of hero XP, stamina, etc. So if we look at this, you can get 90,000, some gems. So the crystals are some of the specialty items, which we will get into later. And then, so the rewards on the level 11s look very, very nice. So I'm really curious to see what Grand Cross does for that. Next, I'm just gonna go back into my city real quick. The training wise, everything appears to be pretty on par with each of them. So this is 1 day and 20 hours for 2000 tier 5. If we go into Rise of Kingdoms here and look at the tier 5, it is 1 day and 18 hours. But we also have more specialty items right now, and typically One Alliance controls everything in Rise of Kingdoms compared to where we always try to switch it up a little bit in Grand Cross Age of Titans. So if we go ahead and take a look here, so one of the big things that I do want to point out is if we go to the event summons here in Grand Cross, and we go into the tavern in Rise of Kingdoms, one of the biggest differences is, let me try to grab one real quick, hold on. I'm trying not to use as many of these as I can because we do have specialty stuff coming. Come on, give me one of the heroes. Oh, it's gonna be so. Come on, I'm trying to show how free to play friendly you are, game. And you're not really helping me out. Okay, come on. Come on. It knows I'm recording. It doesn't want to give me anything. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? Let's just go here and let me use 10 of these because these I don't mind. Okay, so as you can tell, down here in the bottom left, it said 10 sculptures for every single hero that we summon. Right? So we instantly got 10. So if we go ahead and go into Rise of Kingdoms, there is a very, very slight chance that we're actually able to summon the full commander. So commander is Rise of Kingdoms, hero is Grand Cross Age of Titans. So these heroes or commanders in Rise of Kingdoms are a lot harder to work. Let alone, this game has been around for, I think, 4 years now. Hold on, let me take a peek and see when Rise of Kingdoms actually opened. So, when did Rise of Kingdoms come out? 2018. So we just passed the 5-year mark not too long ago, right? So, let alone this game has had 5 more years. It's had 5 years to develop and everything of the sorts. So even though you might be free to play, a lot of these summons are very easy to get as long as you just do all your daily tasks and daily rewards. If we look in here at the top, we get 6 of the advanced prayer books, and then if we go into the 3rd tier, which is 60, there's 6 normals, and I believe that is all of them that you're able to get. Now if we look at the Rise of Kingdoms, I gotta remember where this is because I do not remember for whatever reason. Oh, there it is. You get 1 silver key at 60, and then you get 1 gold and 1 crystal key at 100. So let alone, this is 10-15 minutes worth of work on each game itself. But right off the bat, you're always going to get more free stuff just through Grand Cross Age of Titans up to this point. Everything else that we've kind of seen regarding, quarries and, farms, sawmills, the production rate is pretty similar across the board. As you saw, I did claim all of these guys as I was recording, typically about 500,000, and then I believe this is like 300 and some change. But the actual production is 10,400 plus 16,120 due to my stats that I have. And then let me just go to a level 25. And then we can do 22,000 here. So it is pretty similar, even though that ROK does produce a little bit more, but you also have to remember there is more VIP. And with Rise of Kingdoms, there is VIP level 18 because it is 5 years into the making at this point. But let's talk about, more of the stuff, right? So as you can tell, we are on a KVK. This is considered Season of Conquest. So there are a bunch of different KVKs in Rise of Kingdoms, which is actually a lot of fun. We get that, Grand Cross hasn't had enough time to really develop it as we are currently still waiting, but they do have a parallel world, which is a perfect just hold off time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I really wish I had the rewards to pop up on my screen, but if we take a look at some of the stuff here, there's individual rewards just like Grand Cross Age of Titans. I'm not really going to um, compare each and every single reward. But from the feedback that they got, it kind of seemed that Rise of Kingdoms was a little bit better. But who knows? Um, all we know is that both of them have rewards. They give out pretty easy free to free to play stuff, which is always very, very nice. So now let's take a look at some of the other stuff in the game that's, I guess, more or less cosmetic, but not really cosmetic. So in Rise of Kingdoms, there's a Zenith of Power, where in Grand Cross, if we take a look here, we have the specialty stuff, which is the Winter Holiday Castle that's coming up. I consider this a Zenith event because personally, I just don't know what else to call it. So in ROK, there is absolutely zero chance for any free to play unless you have saved for a year and a half to 2 years time to actually compete, or even a tier 4. Let's be honest here. Even myself being a tier 5 player, it is still very, very hard for me to go ahead and compete against some of these bigger players in the game. If we take a look at some of the rankings, let's go individual power. There's players up here at 382 million with, billions of kill points, along with 81 million dead. So if we're going to assume that this player is a big player, and most of that is T5, that's safe to assume that's about 800 million power that has been killed at worth of tier 5. So now, if we go into just general individual kills, 12 billion is an amazing kill point power, but it's still low in technical terms, right? Some of the biggest players, if you do know, I think they're closing in on 50 billion kill points right now, which is just absolutely amazing. If I had a screenshot of that, I would definitely throw it on the screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at, or let's finish up talking about this guy. So, the one that we did have, which is the Pumpkin Witch's Castle, tier 4s were competing and they were actually winning some of the events during this. Due to the Bunions and the Benzies and the Steves, tier 4s were taking on tier 5s. While that made some of the gemmers a little bit upset, like myself, that is fine. We want everyone to be able to compete for some of this stuff, but at the same time, they shouldn't be able to compete in every single event. It should be something that, you got to save for a little bit. You're free to play. That's totally fine. You're just, you're another player that is helping contribute to your kingdom. So that is awesome. But still, a lot of these events, especially, one where we know what this skin is, it's going to be a Gemmers event, typically. In Rise of Kingdoms, like I said, if you're not a... we don't have one that's coming. If you are not a whale, you need to spend a lot of time prepping, saving, and really just calculating and making sure that you know exactly what you got and when you're going to be able to do it. Another thing that I really want to take a look at is the heroes portion. So I already stated that the heroes are a lot easier to expertise, as you can tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just in 4 months since Grand Cross has opened, I have acquired 10 legendary heroes that are fully awakened. And awakened is the same thing as expertising them for ROK. Like we have Minamoto expertise here. And Claudia is almost there. Arthur is almost there. Riza's almost there. I believe those are the only ones that are super close. And then easily expert or awakened every single unique. And then, of course, all these are already maxed, right? And there are 52, which some of these, like Rena, Riza, Edward, are all specialty commanders, which they stated that they're not going to come back into the newer worlds, but I really hope that they do throw them back because they're super powerful, and it wouldn't be fun for someone, like myself, to go against players who don't have them. At least give them the opportunity to unlock them one way or the other. And so if we look at everything here, So I played Rise of Kingdoms for about, I don't know, maybe a year and some change before I started coming back to it. And in that time, I managed to do one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So let alone that is with a decent amount of the commanders that have at least two stats maxed. Like you could tell, Genghis Khan is close, but a lot of them are, not really useful anymore, um, to a certain degree. Like, Lohar, he's great for barbarians. Joan now has Joan Prime. Even YSG, who used to be the one of the best commanders in this game, is now, being shadowed by Mr. ZL. So, let alone there are 96 commanders in this game, but like I said, that is 4 years. That's not really a fair comparison, but how you obtain these sculptures and how easy it is to actually get them, Grand Cross Age of Titans is 10 times easier than this game. So, once again, Grand Cross is a lot newer of a game, but let's take a look at one of the biggest things that free-to-play players are going to have a hard time with. So, let's go ahead and switch back. As you can tell, there are no slots on Grand Cross for any sort of gear, equipment, nothing. I mean, we do have these liege skills here, but that's just by leveling up the hero, which is why so many I did not want to do that. Which is why so many of our players go for level 60s, which you can tell a bunch of us have just a crazy amount of level 60s, 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. That's just because, we're going to get that lead skill and they're able to be used once for X amount of time out in the open field. So as you can tell, I have my lead skills here. A lot of us don't use them fighting. It's typically for, specialty events. Anyway, if we go into this building here, this is the blacksmith in Rise of Kingdoms. And this will allow you to open and forge a bunch of different gear. So as you can tell, a year's worth of work has only gotten me 12 pieces of legendary equipment. And some of it is even wrong. Attack is not a very, very, very good stat in this game because I am not a leader, There are players who have spent thousands upon thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars on this game, which that is absolutely amazing. They have a great account and they're able to keep up with the times. At this point in time, I believe I am somewhere in the middle of 20 to 25,000 on this account. Let alone in the beginning, I did do a lot of stuff wrong. So right away, this gear is going to put you very, very, very far behind. Everyone wants to run out there with 4 or 5 marches, which is amazing, and personally, I love doing it too, even if one of those marches gets smashed. But if you have, a tier 5 player with full gear, full, accessories down here too, you're just gonna get whacked. And unfortunately, that's just a fact in this game. And as you can tell, I went up against these guys at tier 5. I lost 10 to 1. Down here, I did pretty even because I was in a lot of battling with my allies. This one I got pulled into a 3 to 1 loss. This one was about a 3 to 1 loss. This one I got smashed 10 to 1. Battle data again 4 to 1. And this one here was absolutely ridiculous at 9 to 1. So that is kind of what I'm getting at. It's definitely not a problem if you really wanted to go for this gear, and it was just there. But now we have iconic attributes, which if we go into the Awaken tab, this is brand new. So if we look at the Cavalry attack, which is the Lance of the Hellish Wasteland, we have to use another one of the blueprints, which are already ridiculously hard to obtain, in order to upgrade that equipment that you already forged. So this one, let me try and find one that I have already done. This one, I can do this one because I don't particularly care. So let's see what happens. Let's go to level 2. I will use some of that stuff. I will use my resources in here because why not? This is just for science. And let's awaken this. So let's see what happens when I awaken. So I got the tier 2. So now I have to get another one in order to go to tier 3. So those players who have saved up all this stuff, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, have a massive, they just have everything. So even on tier 5, which is a special, there is a 10% chance to reduce the next skill damage it takes by 5%, which in this game, these little percentages are absolutely amazing. In Grand Cross, you don't have that. Biggest thing is work your heroes, work your lab. As long as your actual hero power is on par, tier 4s can take down tier 5s if they didn't work this stuff properly. It's not a problem. You have a decent kingdom that has good leadership and good planning. There's no problem. You're out there, you're having a lot of fun. I mean, it's just great. Everyone loves it. So let's take a look at the overall thing, right? Grand Cross wins in the probability chance here. You're always going to be able to summon a full commander, which is 10 of their mana stones. Rise of Kingdoms has a chance to summon all 10, but is not 100% guaranteed. So let me just do this for science. I'll open these 11 here for you. So I pulled 2 fulls, which is Sun Tzu and Tomoe. In Grand Cross, there is no gear yet, but I'm assuming something of the sort is going to be added. But with this game being so new, you can join now, get into one of the new worlds, which pop up pretty frequently, just not super frequently yet because, we don't have a massive influx of players yet. This one was, of course, 3 days ago. And it is still looking good compared to Rise of Kingdoms, where you go through, KVK 1, 2, and then as soon as you get to 3, every single commander is open. So everything that you've invested in KVK 1 and 2 is now useless. And it's just going to get crushed by players who have, Alexander Nevsky, and then who else is even useful? I don't even have anyone. Zuling, you got Guan Yu, you have Joan of Arc, you have William, you have Huo, etc., etc. So it's just something that you got to prep for and prepare for, or you can stay here and just have every commander useful, right? Next, the lab's pretty similar. The timing is similar. Totally ridiculous 74 days, and then something ridiculous here. This one was like 156 days, so pretty on par with Rise of Kingdoms. Next in KVK, we do know that we are going to be getting a specialty lab, but unlike Rise of Kingdoms, which this lab is ridiculous in order to max it out, which resets every single time you don't get anything back, it costs about $2,000 to max, I think, from what I've been hearing. Where Grand Cross, they said a free-to-play player is going to be able to max out this lab, but not until towards the end. So I will repeat that. The specialty lab that is coming for KVK 1, which is in January, a free-to-play player will be able to max out that lab by the end of KVK, as long as they're active and contributing. That is the developer words, not mine. Let alone, like I said, we got the gear here, which is super hard to obtain unless you're spending a whole bunch of money. But at the same time, this game has been around for 3 years and like 8 months and more than Grand Cross. So we do have to see that, but for the time being, Grand Cross is obviously the more free-to-play friendly game. But like I said, I love both of the games. I've spent in both. I'm max VIP here. I'm getting close to VIP 17 on this account as well here. I'm 370,000 away, give or take. Um, you know, I guess that pretty much covers everything regarding free to play stuff. You know, the rewards in here, this is absolutely amazing. As you can tell, free gems and Rise of Kingdoms you cannot get just by doing that. You have to actually hit the barbarian troops, which have a possibility of dropping some sort of gems. The other players have done a lot of the math on that. One of the best free-to-play players that I know who makes videos is, I believe it is Juicy Fruit. Let me see. I don't even remember what. Let me. I'm trying to pull up his thing. Oh, Fruit Dealer. So he saves up a lot of stuff as a free to play, and then he goes and does all the math on it. Great videos. I love watching him. He's super entertaining. If you made it to this part, go check him out for more free to play stuff with Rise of Kingdoms. So at the end of the day, personally, I think Grand Cross is 100 times more free to play friendly as of this current moment. Just from all the free gems, the free items. I mean, even just the stamina itself. I mean, I used all this 4 weeks ago, and I already have almost 200,000 again. And I'm, still competing in all the events here. Chaos Destroyer, obviously, for the free stuff here. We got World Monsters here, and then next is going to be the World Fortresses, which isn't super hard. The only downside is some of these events are a little bit more expensive if you're going to be a player. So like on this one here, you get 10 summoned, which is 6,000 gems. So in order to get your max rewards, it is 6,000 times 13. So if you're really taking a look here, so 6,000 times 13 is 78,000 times 4. It's 312,000 gems in order to max this event out for every single round. But all that does is get you ahead higher for specific heroes like this. It's no different than the wheel. The wheel in Rise of Kingdoms is translated to this Grand Summon event here. I do not remember the specific stuff. I think it's 5 spins for 3,500 gems. I think someone correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe this is 1,000 gems cheaper, but I don't particularly know. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video there. I'm sure I missed something here or there, but please, if you made it to this point in the video, leave your comments down below. What did I miss? What do you like? What opinions do you have now that maybe you've seen a super popular game like Rise of Kingdoms compared to a game like Grand Cross with all the free stuff and what some experienced players have been calling a super friendly free to play, even with all of the changes and adjustments that they've made. So I hope that you guys have had a fabulous weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.